I've been here for 5 years. I live on a gravel road, and you read in the paper that there's 800 kilometres of unsealed roads in Rodney, and they're doing 2 kilometres a year. So I thought, being a civil engineer with some experience, I could get involved and see if we could do something outside the standard process that Auckland Transport are doing at the moment, which really isn't succeeding very well, because 2 kilometres a year, and this road's got no priority. We could be waiting for hundreds of years, which is really not the option. This is quite a dangerous road. It's narrow in some places, and as I said, as a civil engineer, I think I can give some input into seeing if we can get it sealed. I went to Rodney Board, and they appreciated the submission and agree with what we're trying to do of a public-private partnership to get some more roads underway. And they have put some funds in for the initial design and consent process for possibly doing this road, but their funding is very tight. Auckland Transport, I've met here on site, they don't have any funds, they say, for this sort of road because it's got no priority. So I've been to all my neighbours, and there is a possibility that we could possibly privately fund it. And but middle of last year, through Rodney trying to push it forward, Auckland Transport came back and said they wouldn't appreciate a public-private partnership. That's outside their realm. But since then, they've come back to me and said they could now possibly look at it. And what we're working through is an acceptable specification for a road like this. This is a dead-end road with only say 30 residents, so the traffic count's quite low. That's why it hasn't got priority. Therefore, I'm saying that the standard of construction doesn't have to be top level because it's such a minor road. Pukapuka Road is 3.8 kilometres long, and there's about 25 owners. A lot of them are farms, and we have quite a number of cattle trucks coming down here. So then some 3 or 4 corners are quite dangerous. They're narrow and tight, and I'm proposing to what they call open those corners up and increase the sight distance. But the road is, at the moment, is in good condition. There's no potholes. Just recently they've come through and put metal on and rolled it and watered it. And I counted about 2 months ago, there's 120 potholes, which makes it dangerous to drive because you're always looking to miss the potholes. So you go over like this to miss the potholes, and it can be quite tricky. And the dust, of course, these people here, shocking dust problem. This road will go from heavy dust to mud in an hour if it starts raining, and the cars are caked in mud. The damage to my car is quite extensive. It's just come out of the garage, and they found a huge amount of rocks caught up underneath the engine guards and in the brakes. It does quite a bit of damage to the brakes, the car. We pay a lot of rates on Pukapuka Road, and we don't get much for it. I think it's a bit unfair that you pay rates for the equivalent to being in town, and we get nothing for it. When you think about it, rates should be for footpaths, street lighting, roading, wastewater, things like that. We get nothing. See, this corner here is quite a dangerous corner. I've nearly been hit a cattle truck here. I complained with the safety, and they came and put these white posts in. But the Auckland Transport say it's 400,000 a kilometre, so they put a price of 1.5 million on this road. And I believe working with a workable design, not a code of practice design, and working with contractors and giving them a free hand to do a design build, and give them say a period of 12 months to come and do the road so they can fit it in a gap between major contracts. As I've done it before, you save a lot of money. It's a totally different animal than Auckland Transport would go out for tender with external consultants, and that costs a lot of money. They come and do a full survey of the job and design documents. Then they go out for tender, process the tender, and then contract supervision. Where I believe if we work with one of the large contractors, work closely with them, with supervision, we can cut the cost down a lot.